Welcome back to Red Hawk Media, and we're looking at part 2 of web design here. Today it's all about getting our site definitions set up and transferring our images into Dreamweaver. The first step that we're going to go through is a little bit of prep work for setting the site definitions. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you've connected to your multimedia tech folder. If you haven't, make sure that you go connect to server, and then choose the proper location. Okay, I'm going to open my multimedia tech folder now, and in whichever hour that you happen to be in, I'm going to choose second hour for right now, and I'm going to go into the web design folder, and in here I'm going to create my root folder. This is where I'm going to save everything that's related to my website. So now I'm going to go up to new folder, and these are the naming conventions that we're going to use. Since I'm in second hour right now, the naming convention that I'm going to use is 2 for second hour. I'm going to use my computer number, okay, and I'll explain the computer numbers in class. Basically, the rows are 1 through 8, and 9 through 16, and 17 through 22. I'm sitting at workstation 23. So I've got my 3-digit number, second hour, 23rd computer, and I'm going to use the first initial of my first name, first initial of my middle name, first initial of my last name. Okay, and I put it all into caps, and I click enter. That's my new folder. Now inside of that folder, we're going to create one more. That's going to be really important to the process because since we've been doing all the graphic work in Photoshop, we want to create an images folder. So inside this folder, I create another new folder, and I call this one images. We are all now set up for the folders that we need at this time. We'll be creating more down the road, but we're good. So now we're going to go over to Dreamweaver. Now I've got Dreamweaver over on my dock. You may not, so if we need to find it, we go into the hard drive here. We look at the applications, and here I am. And in the Dreamweaver CS5, it's Adobe Dreamweaver. It used to be Macromedia. I go into that folder, and I go CS5. If you have 2 versions of Dreamweaver showing up here, a CS5 and a CS5.5, use the CS5 because the 5.5 is a trial that we had installed on our computers at one point. So I go to here, make sure that I drag it over to the dock, and then once I'm on the dock, I'm all set, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up. There we are. Now, on the welcome screen, I've got all my different options. I've got my recent documents that I've been working on, so the index page for RHM, all of that stuff. But I want to create new today. And in particular, I'm going to create a new Dreamweaver site. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here and choose Dreamweaver site. Once I'm in here, I'm going to set up the site definitions. I'm going to give my site a site name. This would typically be your .com, but we don't have .coms, won't have .coms, so we're going to just give it an unofficial name. So as you know, I've been working on the Red Hawk Media site, so I'm going to go new RHM. Okay, now, next step, really important, because this saves everything for your Dreamweaver site. Okay, from here, what I'm going to want to do is click on the Browse folder. Okay, and I'm going to browse to the location where I created my folder. Easy way to do that is we just click on the XRHM over on the left-hand side here. I go to my multimedia tech folder, and then I'm going to go to the hour that I saved it in. So I go to second hour, web design, and there's my folder. Okay. Now at this point, I want to save it just to this folder. This is my root folder. Okay, it is the base for everything that I'm going to build my site on. And I go ahead and click choose. Now, that's all set up here. It's highlighting this because I already created a site called new RHM, so I might just call this new RHM2. Okay? And then from there, I can go ahead and I can click save. Okay? When I'm done, it doesn't look like a whole lot has changed, but over here in my local files area, you can see that I have my site, which is new RHM2, and then I have my images folder already in there. Okay, and this is where I'm going to be saving everything. My pages, the whole kit and caboodle is going to be in there. Okay, now I'm all set up. From here, I'm going to make my way into Photoshop now. We want to start populating this images folder with some of our Photoshop stuff. That concludes our web design part 2. Thank you for joining Red Hawk Media.